Hi guys! So it is summer and it is Virginia and it is hot. It's gotten very humid. It is in the 80s and 90s every day right now. So I decided I wanted to do a summer makeup tutorial. I think that summertime is when you should really start cutting back on your makeup, not wearing quite as much, or at least wearing makeup that doesn't look like you're wearing quite as much, because a fresh face looks a lot better in the summer heat than, you know, a full face of makeup, dark lipstick, stuff like that. So I wanted to show you how I do a lighter face of makeup. So I started by, on a clean face out of the shower, I applied my Avon Intensive Renewal Serum. That's Re9, their Re9 line, which I really like. I mean, I've only tried the serum, but I love it. Use it every day, morning and night. And then I put on Simple Protecting Light Moisturizer, which has an SPF in it. You should always wear an SPF on your face every single day. And I just find it easier if it's in my moisturizer or in my makeup, or both, even better, than applying actual sunscreen to my face. And then I use the Simple Revitalizing Eye Roll-On under my eyes. So that is a little metal roller ball and goes under my eyes and tries to help reduce my bags a little bit. Not always successful. So that's not to say the product is not successful. It means my bags are pretty big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some beauty balm instead of using a foundation. So I'm using Too Faced Beauty Balm today in the color Vanilla Glow. You can also use like a tinted moisturizer or a CC cream. This is also known as a BB cream if you've heard of that. So I'm still going to apply it with my Sigma F80 foundation brush, and I'm going to do that because I really just feel like the finish is better. I feel like when I put it on with my fingers, it's uneven. It's not really, you know, you can kind of see streaks in it. So I'm still going to apply this with my foundation brush. So I'm just going to put a little dollop on the back of my hand and dot my brush into it and then buff it on. I haven't used this in a long time, so it may not even be the right color for me anymore. We'll find out. With foundation, a lot of times you spend a lot of time out in the sun in the summer, so sometimes you need to change the color of your foundation. If you're still wearing the same color year-round, but you're out at the beach or at the pool or, you know, just spending time outside, then that's not really going to work because you're going to be putting foundation or tinted moisturizer that is too light for your skin on your skin, and you're going to look like you have a little cake face of makeup because it's not going to match. So make sure that you get something a little bit darker for the summer because you're going to need it. Your skin's a little bit darker. Alright, so this has a really sheer cover, as you can see. It's not super heavy, you know, it's not completely full coverage, which is what you want. You want to let your face show a little bit more. Partly because it's summer and it looks better, and partly because your skin needs to breathe in the summer because it's super hot and you're probably going to be sweaty and, you know, just needs some help. So next up, I'm going to do concealer. I use Olay and Covergirl Simply Ageless Concealer. I really like this concealer because it's got a very thin consistency, not watery, but it doesn't go on super heavy and cakey. And I'm going to apply it with my Beauty Blender. I really like the Beauty Blender to apply my concealer, so that's kind of what I use every day now. So I'm just going to sort of dot it in and then dot it under my eyes. I'm going to go down kind of in a triangle like this so that I've got a little bit of a highlighting effect down the sides of my nose. Like that. You see how this is just kind of lighter than this is? It's just sort of gives it a nice little highlight. I'm going to put a little bit above my eyes. I really like the Beauty Blender. I wasn't really sure about it at first because I was following the advice of a makeup artist that I watch sometimes on YouTube who applies powder with her Beauty Blender as well. And I think I don't like that very much. I think it doesn't really work with my skin, and that's why I wasn't sure if I liked the Beauty Blender. But now I just realize I need to not apply powder with it. I always want to get around my nose because hormonally women are a little more red around their nose and my chin. There are definitely copies of the Beauty Blender. I know that Sonia Kashuk makes one. That's actually the only one that I've tried. And I didn't like that because it was very stiff, at least compared to this. This is very squishy, and I felt like when I was sort of pressing under my eyes with the other one, it just was too strong. It was pressing too hard. So I honestly really like the original, even though it is expensive. So I'm going to set my concealer and my foundation with a powder, which I always have to do because I have oily skin. If you have oily skin, you really need to set your foundation with a powder. I keep saying foundation even though I'm not using foundation today, but I think you get it. So I'm going to use NYX HD Studio. I just got this from Ulta and I really like it. It's a white powder, but it's translucent once you put it on, and it's just very, very, very fine. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like white dust flying up right now. So I'm just going to take my e.l.f. Stipple Brush, which I talked about in my brush video. There's a little bit in the lid right now, so I'm just going to swirl it in there. Can you see the white dust? Maybe it's just me. And just kind of, you know, there's no real method, just put it all over to set my makeup so that it doesn't slide off, because like I said, I have oily skin and it's hot and I'm sweaty when it's hot. And that is the perfect combination for your makeup just melting right off. So I'm just going to set it. Next up is bronzer. I love to use a little more bronzer in the summer because, I mean, naturally you're a little more tan. And I don't really tan, I kind of freckle, so I need to kind of help my face out a lot and add some bronzer to it. So usually with bronzer, like in the winter or in the cooler months, I will contour with it, you know, put a little bit under my cheekbones here and just contour my face. But I like to make it look a little more like I've just got a tan. So I put it in the places where the sun would hit me. So I'll put it on my cheeks, like almost like blush. I'll put it on my forehead up here at the top, put a little bit on my nose and on my chin right here, because if you were sitting under the sun, you can imagine where the sun is going to hit you. Alright, so I take my e.l.f. Stipple Brush again. There's probably some beauty rule that says you shouldn't use the same brush in 2 different products. I don't follow it. I don't really care that much, so I'm just going to use it. So I take my e.l.f. Stipple Brush in my Benefit Hoola bronzer. This is obviously really old and it's fallen apart. I don't have the lid for it anymore. But this is my favorite bronzer because it's matte. It's not super shimmery. I don't really want shimmery skin in the summer. I don't think it makes any sense. Or ever, really. I just want to look like I have a tan, and the sun doesn't give you shimmery skin. So I'm just going to apply it like blush. And kind of go up on my nose like this, sort of all over, sort of in a U shape. I didn't do this last time, but what you really want to do is kind of tap off the excess before you apply it. There's something in my eye. So that you're not getting a ton of bronzer in one place right where you first put it on. I used to tan when I was younger, meaning my skin used to get tan, and somehow as I got older it stopped, and I am super pasty. But everybody tells me I'm going to have gorgeous skin when I get older, which I probably will, because I really just don't like sitting out in the sun because I don't really benefit from it. I just get hot and sweaty instead of getting, you know, beauty benefits. If I don't tan, why would I sit out there? It's just boring. So I always extend it down onto my neck a little bit, because if you put too much on your face and you ignore your neck, you've got 2 different colors. You've got one color face and another color neck. So I just always extend my makeup down a little bit, just very lightly, just to blend it between my face and my neck. So next up is blush. I'm going to use, you know what, I don't even know where this blush brush is from. I can see that it says made in France, but I've used it for so long that whatever brand it is has totally rubbed off. But I really love this brush. I've had it for years and years and years and years. It's the only blush I've had. Blush I've had in a really long time. I have started using some Sigma brushes, but really, like I'm kind of loyal to this one until it falls apart. This is the one I'm going to use. So I'm going to use NARS blush in Orgasm. You've probably heard about this blush because it's very universally flattering. A lot of people really like it. You can see it there. It's got a little bit of gold shimmer in it, but not a ton. There is a Super Orgasm color, I think, that has got more gold flecks in it, but I think that's a little extreme. So I just sort of dot my blush brush into the blush. Blush brush. I mean, who came up with that? That's really hard to say. I'm going to blow the extra off and then just sort of dot it on. I don't want a ton. I want a little bit of a flush because it's summertime, but I'm probably going to get that naturally. So I just want a little bit of color. This might actually end up looking like more to you than it will actually look like on my face. A lot of people have different methods for applying blush. Some people just dot it on only. Some people rub it on or go like this. I kind of do everything. I dot it on and I kind of swirl it a little bit. I guess one thing I don't do is this, you know, go swipe it. I kind of, you know, if I'm not going to dot it, I'm going to swirl it a little bit, but I just want to give myself some color. Okay, next up is eyeshadow. I have been using e.l.f. Mineral Eyeshadow Primer on my eyelids before I do my makeup, and I love it. It is super, like, it's fantastic at keeping your eyeshadow on all day. So that's what I've been using, and a lot of times people won't want to use eyeshadow in the summer, and that's totally fine. I do because I just like to have something going on up there, but, you know, you can certainly skip it, or you can just do one color. I'm going to contour. That's probably extreme for the summer. It's not going to be much. It's just going to be a light brown, but it's just what I like to do. So I take the eyeshadow primer and just sort of swipe a little bit on my finger and apply it. And this is really great because it evens out my eyelid because it's a little bit lighter than my skin, just a tiny bit. And it makes my lid sticky enough for the, it's not actually sticky, but it creates a surface or a canvas for the eyeshadow to go on, and it holds it all day. So that goes on your lid just all the way up to the brow. There's really no method for applying that. And then I just got the Naked Basics palette. That's Urban Decay. They have a couple of Naked palettes. There's two big ones, Naked and Naked 2, and they have a lot of shimmery colors in there that I don't really like. I don't love shimmery colors that much, especially in the summer. I think that they look kind of heavy. So I like the Naked Basics palette because it is a lot of just very light, natural looking colors. So what I am going to do is I'm probably going to use W.O.S. on my lid all the way up to my brow bone, and then I'm going to contour a little bit with Naked 2. That is super light. I mean, like I said, it's not going to be super crazy contouring, but I'm going to use my Sigma E25 blending brush, which I'm not going to use for blending, to apply my W.O.S. So the one thing about this is that it's really powdery. Like, as soon as you put the brush in it, it's like there's powder everywhere. So I'm going to take it and just sort of dab it in and apply it to my lid. You're not really going to see it that much because it's not, color-wise, it's not that different from the primer that I just put on, but it's just going to even everything out and create another, you know, base for the contouring. And this, I mean, when you're putting something all over your lid, there's no real method to it. You just slap it on there. I mean, obviously you want to stay within where your eye is. The bangs are getting in the way. But just all the way up to the brow bone. Okay, so next I'm going to take my Sigma E35 tapered blending brush, and this you probably saw in my brush video. I love this brush for contouring. It's a blending brush. It's like, you know, you can see it's got kind of a poofy little dome head on it, and I just love it. So I'm going to dip it in the Naked 2 color. Powder everywhere. And just touch it to the corner of my eye. And just swirl it around. Swirl it around on the corner and then carry it into the crease a little bit. This is not, there's no perfect method for this. This is kind of going to depend on your eye. But I think it's safe to just like start on the corner and then carry it a little bit into the crease. And you can see it's creating a very light contour. It's nothing crazy. It's just a tiny little bit. So now the other eye. I think I've become a contouring addict, honestly. I used to always just wear one color on my eyelid. And once I figured out how to do it, you know, once I really, honestly, I used to do it even though I didn't know how to. Once I figured out how to blend it, that's when I really started doing it. So you can kind of see that just creates a tiny, tiny little bit of interest on my lid. It's just not all one color. I'll do a little bit more over here. my brow bone is not really very prominent. Or maybe I should say that my crease isn't very prominent. And you don't want it to be prominent, you want it to be set back. But it's just not an obvious crease. I don't have the easiest eyes to contour, so I just kind of go at it with the blending brush and call it a day. So with eyeliner, usually when I go to work, I'm going to wear like a dark black Maybelline Eye Studio gel liner. It comes with a little brush. It's really easy to put on. It stays all day. Like I said, it's very dark. So I really like that when I go to work, but I want to lighten it up over the summer because that just looks a little severe. So I like to go with more of a brown color, and actually what I started using recently was my Avon brow liner in dark brown. I have had this for a while. I don't really use it that often anymore since I found the W.O.S that I love, which you'll see in a second. But I think this is a really great color. It's not super heavy, it's not super dark, and it's just going to sort of define my eyes without looking like I've got a bunch of eyeliner on. So what I'm about to do is pull my eye really taut, and it's really bad for your eye. You're really not supposed to do it because the skin around your eye is really delicate. I do it anyway because I feel like it's the only way I can get my eyeliner on. Everyone's going to tell you not to do it. I'm going to tell you not to do it, but chances are if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. So try not to if you don't have to. I do not look pretty when I do this either. Alright, so I'm just going to try and, when I'm talking and resting my palm on my chin, it doesn't work very well. I'm just going to start by trying to keep it as close to the lash line as possible. I'm not trying to do a cat eye or make it nice and thick. I just want a little definition right there. It's just right along the lash line. See, not much, just adds a little bit of definition. Now we'll go to the other eye. And I am not one to line under my eyes. I think that, sorry, it's really hard to talk when I'm putting eyeliner on. I think that sometimes it can drag my eyes down and accentuate my bags under my eyes. I did actually use this the other day, and it is pretty good because it's not super dark, as you can see on my eyes. It's not this dark brown, so it doesn't drag my eyes down as much, but I'm just going to skip it because that's what I usually do. Let's do my brows next before I do mascara. So I am using Anastasia, or Anastasia, a lot of people pronounce it different ways, Medium Ash Brow Wiz. This is my favorite brow thing ever. So I am going to, if you saw my brow tutorial video, which you should watch if you don't know how to do your brows, I'm going to do basically what I just did in that video. So I'm going to start on the inner corner, draw a line. Oops, kind of missed it a little bit. This is really hard to do in the camera. Draw a line from the inner corner up to the arch, and then the upper inner corner to the arch. But this is going to create kind of a tapered line, and then carry it down over to the corner, or the end, I guess, and fill this in a little bit. And then brows do not naturally have these lines at the front, so I'm going to sort of blend that a little bit. And done. Nice and simple. That's what I like about the W.O.S. And then we'll do the other eye. Start in the bottom inner corner and straight line up to the arch. And then upper corner to the arch. Carry it down to the end. I just waxed my eyebrows yesterday, so this is super easy. And then fill this in. I feel like every time I do a video about brows, or I do my brows in a video, I'm always talking about them being even and making them symmetrical, and then I watch the video later and I'm like, those are totally uneven. They're not symmetrical at all because I can't see it. I mean, I can kind of see it, but not that well. Okay, so there are my brows, and I'm going to finish up my eyes with mascara. I'm going to use Amazing Cosmetics mascara. I always like to wear mascara, even in the summer. I just feel like, excuse me, I just feel like I need some definition around my eyes. So sometimes I won't wear eyeliner, but I always wear mascara. I have really, really liked this mascara because I really like the brush. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just very simple, classic mascara brush, but I just feel like it's not hard to apply. It's not clumpy. I don't get it all over my eyelid like I do with a lot of others. It's just a nice mascara. My hair is stuck to it. And honestly, I'm not going to tell you how to apply mascara. I think you know how. And if you don't, there might not be any hope for you. I can't believe I said that. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I really am. I promise. Of course there's hope for you. You message me if you don't know how to apply mascara, and I will make a mascara application video for you. And I always do the bottom because I don't do liner on the bottom, but I do still need a little definition down there. Perfect. Just a tiny little bit. And last up is lips. So I like to keep my lips light. I think a bright lip can be cool in the summer. Definitely, you know, very attractive. But I only do that every once in a while. For the most part, I like to keep it nude or light. And I have fallen in love with Almay Liquid Lip Balm recently. It is really smooth. The colors are really sheer. So if you look at the colors, I mean, this is a nude color, but there's a color that's like literally the color of my fingernails, and I bought it, and I was thinking, oh, I'm totally stepping out of the box. This is going to be so bright. I'm going to look awesome. And I put it on. It was like super sheer and super pretty, but I was like, no, I'm not really stepping out of the box with this one. So this color is Rosy Lipped, and it's just a really nice pale color, and I just really like it. And like I said, it's so smooth. Oh my gosh, when you put it on, it feels so good. It's not sticky at all. So this is kind of, you know, foolproof when you have a wand. Just slap it on there, rub your lips together, and you're done. So that is what I usually wear in the summer, like on the weekends, or, you know, if you're a teacher and you have the whole summer off, this is a great good look for you. Also, I hate you because you have the whole summer off. But anyway, so I definitely just try to keep it light. You know, either no foundation at all or something light like a tinted moisturizer or a beauty balm. Light lips, light eyes, nothing crazy, and it just looks so much better when it's fresh and not heavy and cakey. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if there are any more videos that you're looking for, and have a great day. Bye! You like that? It made its way out. Hate these things. So unnecessary in a dress like this. I can hang this up on a hanger. It's not a problem. I don't need these. There's even like a little mini dress underneath, which means I have even more ways to hang it up on a hanger, and I don't need these. And they just come out. I've got to cut them out. Oh, by the way, here's Ivy. She's my little pooper. She's the one who makes her way into the videos, climbing on that sofa back there. And she loves you.